Hey, what is up, everybody? Merry Christmas. Number 2, good morning. Number 3, thank you to my Instagram followers for voting on this video. If you guys do not follow me on Instagram and you would like to vote for one upload a week, make sure that you follow the link down below and go follow my Instagram. Other than that, hello, my name is Brooke Wallenzine. If this is your first time on my channel, it is very nice to meet you. Make sure that you subscribe down below, leave me a comment, say hello, give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoy it. You guys, my goal for 2019 was to hit 250 subscribers, and you guys have taken me above and beyond that, so I cannot thank you enough for that. I'm not gonna talk for too long. Today, like the title says, it is a bake with me. You guys voted on it, you asked for it, here it is. So let me just go ahead and get my ingredients out, and then we can get started. If you have not figured it out yet, we are making pumpkin pie today. If you guys missed my Thanksgiving edition of Bake With Me, I went insane and made 48 cupcakes and 2 casseroles. This is a smaller get-together. I'm just gonna do 2 pies, and then I'm also making the broccoli casserole again later, but I'm gonna make that right before we leave. These I'm gonna make now. It's, what is it, like 9:30? Obviously I just took a shower, as you can see. My hair is a little bit crazy, but I'm just gonna push it back for now and deal with that later. Okay, so you may be wondering, Brooke, you have been talking about how you are going home for Christmas and how you're moving for like freaking how many months? Like 3 months now? 2 or 3 months if you guys been watching all my videos. Well, you know what? Things don't always work out how you want them to. So I am just gonna tell you guys a little bit, try to explain why we're not home for Christmas. It's gonna be kind of hard to explain. I don't know. If you're military or you know somebody who's military, you get it. But when you tell people that you have no control over your life, a lot of people just don't understand that. I'm starting off with sugar. Do you guys like my little, I put that little decal on there. Yeah, so we were supposed to have movers come by like the 18th at like the latest. And I've got like little coffee grounds in my sugar for me. Hang on, I think I'm gonna get the sugar out of the bag. I use this sugar for my coffee and sometimes I get coffee grounds in there. Look at that, I'm already making a huge mess. Basically, you have to like go online to like order the movers because they're moving us because we can't afford to move ourselves because the Army, Colton's getting medically discharged, and yes, we knew it was coming, but they told him he could either get out December 10th, January 10th, or February 10th, and originally he went to his first sergeant and asked if he could get out January 10th because we were like, okay, that'll give us a couple more paychecks. That's number 4. To be able to get on our feet, and then we were going to take our regular Christmas leave and go home for Christmas and then come back and move. Well, he went to his first sergeant, and his first sergeant wouldn't sign off on it. So even though he was given the choice, he wasn't really given the choice. So then we're scrambling to try to get all this figured out. And the last thing we were told was that the movers were available for the 17th. We're like, okay, so like 2 days later, we go back in there because we had finally figured out the online stuff, which I'm sorry is like really hard to explain. It's a government website, which if you've ever navigated like a military government website, it's so outdated. They're so confusing. But once we got that figured out, we went back in there and she was doing all our paperwork and whatever, and she's like, oh, our next available date is the 26th. Is that okay? And I said, not really, but it's not their fault that the 26th is the only one open, and what else are they supposed to do? Our lease was only paid up through today originally, so I had to go in and extend our lease a couple more days. It just sucks. Like, I had to tell my grandma that, you know, hey, we're not gonna be making it, and like Christmas Eve is like, well, Christmas is big in my family. Halloween's big. Halloween's really hard to miss, but obviously Christmas is like a family holiday, and we always do Christmas Eve at her house. And then we do Christmas with Colton's family, so then we had to tell them. His mom's really bummed out. His mom's leaving for a trip to London with one of his younger sisters. So now when we get home, his mom's not even gonna be there for a couple days. But, you know, it is what it is, and we will make it there eventually. So that is like kind of all in all like why we're not home. It's not like we don't want to be. It just didn't work out. Ah! I love ground ginger, it smells so good. But we are going over to the same friend's house. She was nice enough to extend the invitation to us for her family Christmas. The same one that we were at for Thanksgiving. So So we're just gonna go over there again, see them one last time before we leave. And then tomorrow morning, the movers show up. So as you guys can see, I have some dishes behind me and stuff to do, but I didn't want to do them because everything has to be done before they come. So I'm like, you know what? I might as well make these pies and do the dishes afterwards while they cook. And then these are ground cloves, right? Okay. I'm reading, that was too much. Some of it fell in. A recipe, but if I put something in that's supposed to be in there, it's not gonna sound off to me because I don't know. That's all combined. Another thing I did just want to talk to you guys about, it's why I love these bake with me videos, because I can just, and if you guys want a recipe, let me know, but I'm literally following the recipe on the back of this, so I like these so I can just sit here and talk to you guys while I'm baking. I did just want to explain the whole Bindi situation, our kitten, if you guys were following the foster kitten videos. I did just want to give you guys an update. I got on the floor because we do have her. So, we adopted Bindi about 2 weeks ago, finally. What had happened was when she got her first shots around 5 weeks old, I hope you could see that in the camera. This egg just exploded. The shots can cause their immune systems to get kind of low for a day, so if they have any type of sickness, it is going to show. And unfortunately, as soon as Bindi got her shots, she started having really nasty symptoms that I'm not going to talk about, especially since you guys are watching a food video. But it turned out that she had coccidia and giardia, which are both a form of like an intestinal parasite. So I was giving her antibiotics for, it ended up being a total of 5 weeks. When she went in for her spay she ended up going in for her spay at 10 weeks. She's looking at me. She still was testing positive for it. So after her spay, we kept giving the medicine, and then her spay did not go well. And I don't want to talk bad about the Humane Society at all, because I wouldn't have her if it wasn't for them, if it wasn't for their help, because I could not afford to go through a private vet with her. She had some swelling, and she again was having nasty symptoms that I will not go into because they were extreme. This was like extreme. I will tell you this much, that she was, you know, as a cat, was having accidents. She was no longer using the litter box because she couldn't control herself. And it was really sad. And I tried to tell them, like, hey, I really think this is serious. And they made her an appointment for Tuesday. Her original spay was the Wednesday before that. So I kept, well, I don't know if you guys can hear me right now, I'm like all the way over here. I kept texting them like a little bit almost every day, just kind of saying like, hey, like, her swelling had gone down. That was the thing. But I told them, like, you know, she's still going to the bathroom nonstop. I don't know, gross, there's blood in it. It was really bad, you know, so they're like, oh, we'll just keep everything trying to convince me that it's a parasite. I'm like, well, she never had these symptoms before with the parasite where it was like this bad. So they're like, just keep giving her the Albon, which is like a dewormer. So I have to listen to them because I don't have a choice. Finally, when we go in there, her site had flared up again. So her stool sample came back clear. And then I asked them, I said, did you even look at her belly? She's like, oh no. She pulled her out. She was like, she needs to stay here. So thank God, at least. I mean, she needed to see a vet, and I knew that. So all in all, they ended up having her for 11 days. She ended up having a infection on the inside, which honestly should not have happened. Those infections should not happen. It is not from anything I did here. It is from something that happened in the shelter. Let's get that clear. That should not have happened. They had to cut her a little bit and drain out that little, where her, like, it was like this big just like lump on her stomach. They had to drain it out, poor thing. Pure pumpkin. And then they had to give her oral antibiotics and a topical antibiotic on the site after they had opened it back up. And finally, I literally, like, was probably being annoying. I just want to know, like, they weren't really updating me. But I know you guys, in one of my last videos, it was like a pre-film video, and I was talking about how I just brought her in, and I told you guys how she had to stay there. I do just want to give a full update. She is 100% healthy. We are moving with her, thank God. I was horrified, you guys. I say that, I mean, if I couldn't have taken her with me, you know, it is what it is, and I would have gotten over it. But I was literally, like, crying just thinking about not taking her with me. Like, if you guys don't know, I got her when she was 1 day old. One of my friends found her on the street, and the vet aged her at a day old, and I literally nursed her. And now she's a healthy, what is she, 12 weeks? 13 weeks. She's a little brat. So I just know that giving her back to the shelter, not knowing where she was gonna be going, would have just been like completely devastating. So thank God, like I'm gonna be sad talking about it, but thank God we have her now and she's a little spoiled brat. And thank you guys who showed concern. It really does mean a lot to me. Wish us luck on our move. I will be updating you guys. I was gonna do a travel vlog, but we drive straight through. It's a 20-hour drive and I do most of the driving. And when I'm not driving, I can't really be on my phone because I get motion sick like really bad. So I don't know if I'm gonna do a travel vlog. It's not really traveling, we're moving. And we're gonna have the cat and the reptiles in the car. It's gonna be a zoo, but we are going to stay with a family member. This is very satisfying. Now I mix in the dry ingredients. Kind of surprised there's like no flour in this, right? I think it's all the eggs though that like cook it out to make it like the custardy. Pillsbury pie crust, the best. Okay. Is one of the sides just gonna be like overly thick? I'm not an expert here, you guys. So if I'm making you cringe right now because you're an expert pie baker, I'm really sorry. I do like to bake and I have referenced that in many videos, but pies, I used to make blueberry pies a lot. But pies where you have to pinch the crust around, not so much. So if you have any tips, comment them down below. Also, if you made it this far in the video, comment Santa Claus down below so I know who you guys are. Santa Claus in the comments. I'm interested to see who watches my full videos. Y'all are the real ones. But this over here is a little whack. That's the approach we're taking with this one, is I'm just pinching instead of trying to like fold over. So, pie 1. And pie 2. I think I'm gonna have too much pie mix. Okay, that was freaking nerve-wracking. Okay, so 425, 15 minutes, reduce temperature to 350 and bake for 30 to 40 minutes. Cool on rack for 2 hours. That's why I'm doing this right now. So I will see you guys back when I get the pies out of the oven. All right, so I just pulled out my pies. They're not the prettiest pies in the world, but, oop, exposed. There's my tripod. They're not the ugliest. So I actually ended up taking that extra little bit of pie filling and I put it into a little, the last pie dish, and I cooked it and I ate almost all of it. It's really good. So I know the pie filling tastes good, but here are my pies, don't judge me. I mean, they're tasty. They're made with love, they're homemade, you can tell they're handmade. My crust look like butt. This one got a little bit, that's not crust right here. This is the filling that had like spilled over when I almost put it in the oven and I almost like tilted it. So ignore the stuff on the counter. I need to wipe the stuff. I need to wipe the oven off, ignore it. But here are my holiday pies. Okay, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, this bake with me. Once again, Merry Christmas. Thank you guys so much for watching. Once again, please subscribe. I love you guys so much and I will see you in the next video.